Okay, hello and welcome back to another episode of my Road to Glory with McLaren. Today you join me for race 8 out of 10 for the Russian Grand Prix. With last race's issues with the engine, we're currently 13 points behind Verstappen, 117 points to 130. So we really need to be trying to gain that sort of like 13 plus points on him in this race, if at all possible. Because otherwise, the championship is going to fall further and further out of our reach. If we only have now Japan and Brazil left. I haven't raced in Japan since F1 2019. So, it could go well, it could go awful. So we need this race to go as well as humanly possible. Qualifying is dry then. However, I had a look at the forecast. The race is going to be starting wet. Only intermediate wet, but wet nonetheless. Hopefully, it doesn't clear up. Which sounds bad, but if it doesn't clear up, then I don't need to do anything risky. We set a pretty bad qualifying lap here, exceeding the track limits as well, but still only managing to get up into P11.
Welcome one and all to today's Grand Prix here in southern Russia. A beautiful location besides the Black Sea and a race that has historically been dominated by the Silver Arrows. Mercedes have won here 6 times since the first race in 2014. Can someone else muscle in on that record here today? Well, it's certainly not the best weather out on the Sochi street circuit today. A track that boasts 18 corners, 12 to the right and 6 to the left. And it's a track that combines both fast corners and long straights, resulting in speeds of excess of 200 miles an hour. But with these conditions, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a safety car out there today. Joining me on this very wet day is a man who's no stranger to driving in miserable conditions. Anthony Davidson, you've driven open cockpit, you've driven sports cars. How does the wet weather experience change between the different disciplines?
Well, I wouldn't say there's much difference in all honesty. You know, besides the terrifying closing speeds you find in sports cars with the different categories all sharing the same track, driving in the rain is, well, driving in the rain. Of course, the biggest difference between the two is the closed cockpit versus the open cockpit. You get the luxury of staying dry in the sports car, but if your screen ever gets dirty, well, that's a pit stop, not just wiping your visor or pulling away a tear off. But most of the time, you know, they're both as miserable as each other, to be honest.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Leclerc, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Ocon and Pierre Gasly, Reed, Vettel, Yuki Tsunoda and Stroll, Russell, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Only 3 races left. You still have a chance at the title, but we're going to need some special performances. See what you can do.
Alright then, P11, just starting outside the points. Verstappen starting in P4, so he's going to have quite a lot of points already on us. If the race was to say finish now, he would obviously be a lot more points ahead. But I think if we can get a decent start, we can get a decent dive into turn 1, maybe get up 2 or 3 positions. And if we can get up those 2 or 3 positions, then life will be a lot easier. And it might also then open up opportunities for us to get up into those top places. And once you're in those top places, you normally stay in those top places. So if we can get up there, get up past Verstappen, hopefully by the end of like lap 3 or 4, if we can get past him, then it's just working our way up and up and up, and hoping that maybe even he falls back down, you know, has a spin or something. That would be nice. Unlikely though. But if it were to happen, very nice. Anyways then, on the grid, to 5. Red light here in Sochi. We are underway for the Russian Grand Prix. We're getting an all-right start. Gasly on our right gets an even better start. Vettel behind us, pulls past, goes in front of us. Gonna try and... he has to pull back. Gasly taps the wall, I think. We go past him up into P10. That's 1 point. Ocon ahead of us. Dive into turn 1. Sainz, Gasly and Alonso all caught. Alonso pushes us off the track. Probably my fault there. And he gets back past us. It doesn't matter though, out of turn 3 and into turn 4 we go for a dive down the inside past Alonso again, a little bit of a scrape with the wheels as he turns further in, but there's not an issue with that. Leclerc ahead of us then, Verstappen up in P5, we're catching already, going through turns 8 and 9 behind Leclerc. We have a look around the right, can't make it past, go through the left, get past him, then Verstappen, our next person, he tries to close the door a little bit, we go for a late brake round him into turn 10. We get pushed wide, but we are ahead of Verstappen. We're ahead of the championship rival now. He's in P6, we're in P5. We just need to make distance now between him and us. Perez ahead of him, his teammate. We have a look into turn 12. Down the inside, turn 13. We're through, we're past. And into 14, we have managed to keep that position then. Skipping to the end of lap 3, purple sector 1, green sector 2. Right behind Hamilton, fastest lap then. Still right behind Hamilton. And into turn 2 of the track, we go for a little fake round the right hand side, can't make it past. We have a look left, we still can't make it, but into turn 3 we have the move, we have the push, we are past Hamilton and up into P3 in a podium position. Only Norris and Bottas ahead of us now. Verstappen moves up into P5, we move up into P2. Yellow flag behind us, Bottas right on our wrist, safety car!
We've been informed that the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track.
That is the perfect timing for a safety car. He was about to get past us again. Norris then ahead of us as we go racing again. Bottas behind. I don't like these last couple of corners, so we're not going to be able to catch up and keep up with Norris, but we hopefully can keep Bottas behind us. If we can keep him behind, and we can just about, probably, hopefully, catch up to Norris.
You're doing well out there, keep it up. We're looking
Thank
at
you,
about
Jeff.
10 more minutes of rain.
I appreciate that for once. You're like, being nice, and I rather enjoy that. Norris still ahead of us then, under a second, but without DRS being enabled due to the rain, it doesn't really matter. Lap 8, we go wide into turn 6 and 7. We have a look around the outside of turn 7, can't make it past. Norris goes wide, he goes wide out of turn 7, we go past him up into P1. Verstappen still in P5. We now have 3 points on Verstappen in total.
It looks like we might have an issue. Hang in there, we're attempting to manage it.
That is not good news. Oh my god, if our engine blows. If our engine blows, I might cry. I might cry. Please, just tell me this was like a mistake or something.
It's not good news, I'm afraid. Seems like an engine issue. Good news, it looks like the fault has been fixed.
Jeff, man, why would you do that? Why would you do that? End of lap 9 then, 2 red sectors, but that still doesn't stop us from setting another fast lap and nearly hitting a wall. Bloody hell. Lap 10 then, coming towards the end, still struggling in these conditions. Definitely not clearing up yet. I can still feel the lack of grip. And this is another prime example.
We'll be running on a dry track soon, back to dry shortly.
Jeff, shush man. End of lap 11, purple sector 1, no, green sector 1, purple sector 2, purple sector 3, another fastest lap onto lap 12 by a whole second. It is getting a lot drier. 2 purple sectors now, sector 1 and 2, just going through the final couple of bends of lap 12. Is that another fastest lap? Yes, it is.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
And against all odds, we've managed to get into P1 and keep it by 7 whole seconds. The AI are really struggling in this one. I think in that, like, between turn 7 and 10, they've been really losing a lot of grip. But we've managed to keep it, and we're going to the checkered flag across the line in P1 to take...
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
26 championship points. Verstappen only getting 10. That gives us a 3-point gap for the next 2 races. And someone loses it.
Beautiful performance from McLaren today.
Someone just spun, like, at the end of that.
Anthony
What the
Davidson, a
hell?
resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
We've done it! Against all odds, everything went our way today. Every single thing. Verstappen only getting 10 points, us getting 26, gives us that 3-point lead. That all-important lead that we really, really could be doing with right now. We have 2 races left, Japan and Brazil. They could both be another wet race. And that would be like, what, 5 wet races in a row? Belgium, Italy, this, Japan, Brazil. It's possible to have 5 wet races in a row. Please don't let that happen, but it could happen. I really don't want it to, though. Anyways, thank you for watching this one, and I hope to see you next time for the next 2 episodes of this, which are going to be intense as anything. 3 points in it. We could have a Hamilton Verstappen for this one. We honestly could. Alright, I hope to see you then.